Namaste yogis, and welcome to today's short little video on wrists and wrist health, wrist therapy. When you begin your practice or you're in the early stages of establishing your practice, it's common to experience discomfort in the wrists. I certainly did. I often had to come down onto my knees. I remember quite clearly not being able to stay in down dog for 5 breaths just because of the discomfort in my wrists, and it's a really common experience. So if we pay a little bit of attention to our wrists, we can bring strength and flexibility in them relatively quickly, and that can really help us be at ease in our down dogs, or indeed help look after our wrists more as we come further into our practice. So as you progress to bringing more weight on the hands, perhaps with arm balances, or you're looking at even other things like inversions when you're on your hands, like kicking up into a handstand, etc., then it's really pivotal to look after your wrists, not just to prevent injury so you can continue to practice, but also so that you can get the most out of your poses. So we're going to just start with a little bit of wrist opening, and then we'll work on a bit of wrist strengthening. So let's just begin by interlacing fingers, and we're going to roll the wrists around. Can take a few goes to kind of get the movement. You don't have to have your hands super clasped, you can have a bit more loosely clasped, and as you get used to the movement you can pick up the speed a little bit, just basically rotating the wrists and then coming back the other way. And just take a few rounds in each direction. Awesome, guys, and then just float your hands down. Let's just roll the shoulders a few times. We're going to be in tabletop a bit, so we're going to be using shoulders. Just taking a full range of motion in both directions. And then we'll open up a little bit into the spine as well. So reach your arms wide, squeeze your shoulder blades together, lift the chest, arch into the back, and then come into a kind of hugging position, grabbing your shoulder blades, sucking your belly button to your spine, sort of rounding through the back. Let's add some breath. So inhale, reach the arms, and exhale, fold them in. And of course you can be cross-legged here, guys, if you want to. Inhale, reach the arms wide. You can be in Virasana Hero's pose, you can be up on a block. Just be comfortable. And last time, swapping that hug each time you come in. Let's find our way into tabletop. So in tabletop pose, we're just going to start by bringing the hands into lots of different directions. So you might point the fingertips back for a moment, take them wide, just picking them up and replacing them. Each time you put them down, if you put them down in a little direction, see if you can just lean a little bit in that direction as you put them down, just to start opening them up a little bit more. Awesome, guys. And then just land with the fingers facing forward. So aim for having that nice square shape underneath you in tabletop. And just start, press a bit of weight into the knuckles of your forefinger and middle finger, and just start by rocking some weight forwards and back. Now you might not get too much movement here. It might be too uncomfortable to have this much weight in your hands as you come forward, and if that's the case, just bring your knees forward. Find a place that works for you, but be aware that these aren't going to be particularly comfortable sensations. Definitely we don't want pain or pinching, but there will be stretching going on, and especially with forearms, our hands, we use them so much, but we rarely stretch them out, so there's quite a lot of residual stiffness in there. So take some really deep breaths in and out, really focusing on your exhales. Maybe you can make these movements a little bigger and bigger as more and more space is offered to you, but if you're just finding a little range of movement now, that's absolutely fine. Last time, and let's just hold for 5, 4, letting the shoulders come to the top of the mat, 2, 1, and back. Awesome. Sit back on your heels, and let's just gently shake the wrists out, and then as the sensations dissipate, you can give them a bit more of a vigorous shake. Maybe put the hands together and take that little rolling movement again, a few in each direction. Okay, we're going to come into a slightly deeper stretch now. So this time, bring your fingertips to face the back of the mat, or roughly towards the back of the mat. And again, you might not be able to be in tabletop here. You might need to walk your knees forward. Even if you didn't last time, you might need to walk your knees forward. This is a much more intense stretch. So you might just be hovering here and very slowly finding a little bit of space, as if you're trying to bring your hips down towards your heels, but of course they're not going to get anywhere towards that. Very deep stretch. If it feels nice for you here, you can micro bend your elbows. That's going to bring the heels of your hands off the mat a little bit, and just to change where you're feeling the sensations. So be very mindful again about what's going on. And then come back into straight elbows, taking whatever degree of movement feels good for you. And again, these aren't going to be comfortable sensations. So if that's feeling a bit stretchy, it's for me too. Breathe deeply. Still bringing those nice long out breaths into the practice. Last breath here. Okay, let's sit back. Oh. And again, gently shake the hands, and then maybe give them a bit more of a vigorous shake. It'd be nice to pulse the hands into a fist and then spread the fingers out. Whew. Okay, we're going to go a wee bit further now. So we're going to work on one arm only. So you're going to turn the fingertips round towards your knee and place your right hand down. And we're going to actually peel the whole heel of the hand off the mat and find quite a deep stretch for the fingers. So the elbow is going to bend, the elbow is going to make its way down towards the mat, and the heel's going to come right off. So you're predominantly stretching into your forefinger, middle finger and ring finger, depending on the shape of your hand, and bring it down. So we're going to go quite quickly, just bending and straightening the arm. Continuing to breathe. And then we're going to hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Come back, just make some little pulsing movements. I'm just going to alter my mic here so I don't make too many rustling noises. Okay, we're going to do that on the other side. So coming forward into tabletop, left hand down, spinning the fingers behind you and taking this stretch just into one arm only, as we did on the other side. So bending the elbow, peeling the whole hand off and coming into more of a finger stretch. Keep bending and straightening, getting into those fingers, and breathing deeply. Last one, let's bend the elbow and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. And sit back, and again, you can give a little shake, do a little pulse, whatever feels nice to release those fingers. Okay, so we're going to come into some forearm and hand strengthening now. A very simple exercise that I've just learnt myself recently, and it has really helped me in my arm balances, and that's heel raises of the hand. So we're going to come into all fours. Now you're going to have to experiment a little bit. It depends what grip strength you already have and what strength you already have into your hands as to how far you can go in this. It might be that in a tabletop position with a square underneath you that you cannot get your heels like this off the mat. That would be completely normal. So if you feel that that is you, if your shoulders are over your wrists and you're in tabletop and you can't get those heels of your hands up, then bring your knees forward and just bring them forward a little bit and then try. So it's just shifting a bit of weight out of the shoulders, and you can keep experimenting, but I don't want you to be at a place where you can kind of just pop up and down. Okay, we're going to actually be working on strength here, so it's going to be effortful as we approach the end of the reps. It's going to be really hard work, and we should be kind of working towards failure, basically working towards the point where the muscles just can't go any further, and that's the point where you trigger muscle growth. So that's going to help make your wrists and your hands stronger. So find your place, have a little play, and then we'll start with 10 raises. So keeping your shoulders over your wrists, peel the heels up, pressing into the base of the knuckles and bring the heels of the hands down. That's 1. We're going to for 10. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Whew, and come back. So that was quite close to failure for me. I've done quite a few already today, but you should be feeling it in your hands, and you might well be feeling it up your forearms as well. So take these little wrist rolls, and then we're going to massage the forearms out as well, making a little fist and just bumping the forearms, bottom and top, and doing the same on the other side. Giving yourself a little bit of self-massage. And we're going to do another round. So we're going to go for 3 rounds in total. This round will be exactly the same as the last round, 10 reps. If you get to the point where you just can't go any further, try and squeeze 1 more out at that point, even if you just find the heels of your hands not even coming off. That's your failure point. But remember that your body is telling you that you're at failure quite a long way before you actually get there. So just bear that in mind. Believe in what you can achieve. Take a deep breath in and let's take 10 reps. 1, 2, 3, keep shoulders over wrists. 4, 5, if it's feeling too easy, take your knees back. 6, you can always have the knees even further back. 7, 8, now that is hard. 9, 10, awesome guys, well done. Sit back. So yeah, that's the other way you can go. If you're finding it easier, take your knees further away, and you can eventually work on doing this in plank. I'm way away from doing that myself, yeah. Okay guys, so for this last round we're going to take 5 or around 5, so make the practice your own, about 5 reps, but really slowly. So we'll kind of be raising for a count of 2 and lowering for a count of 3. So find your place again. Take a deep breath in. Okay, let's go. Lifting for 2 and lowering for 3, 2, 1. Lifting for 2, lowering for 3, 2, 1. Lifting for 2, 1, 2, lowering for 3, 2, 1. Just 2 more. Lifting. Oh, burning now. 3, 2, 1, and lifting. And 3, keep shoulders over wrists. 2, slowly, slowly. 1, oh my word. And sit back down. Definitely needing these forearm bumps now. Give yourself that little bit of massage and just pulse the fingers to release any sensations in the hands. And we'll finish off with that little wrist roll. Okay guys, well that's it for today. I would try and incorporate that as much as you can, as often as you can, into your little routines at home. It's not something that you need to do for loads and loads of time every day, but just 5 or 10 minutes every day is going to make a real difference to your practice. So namaste, I'll see you soon.